Are you tired of Facebooking, texting, or sending email? Here's how. Do you need some help? It's IMW Radio, the name you can count on. Iksan Migrant Workers Radio Podcast is your access to be heard simultaneously by your friends, former colleagues, and relatives around the globe. It's pretty simple and interesting. Come and join. Jack here live on air at Iksan. Have a good day. Good afternoon, annyeonghaseyo. You're listening to IMW Radio. It's me, Jackie, your host. This March is a solemn month for most Christians where they observe the season of Lent and prepare for the celebration of Easter. The word Lenten derives from the Middle English as springtime. Normally, Lent begins on Ash Wednesday and ends on Holy Thursday. Many Catholics practice to give up on something for Lent. During Ash Wednesday, Catholics who celebrated with hearing the Holy Mass, they're going to receive black ashes on their foreheads. It is a symbolic mark in the shape of a crucifix and reminded us that from dust we were made and to dust we shall return. A time for reflection of last year's life of wrongdoings, or you do good of yourself and to others. As Christians, we learn to do sacrifices not only for the celebration of Christ's resurrection, but also for the reformation of our own lives. We do this through our history, where we found with a profound faith for prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. We even give up on something, maybe in the form of personal habits or helping others. Tomorrow is considered to be Solemn Week and is observed until Black Saturday, known as Holy Week. Good afternoon, Nessie.
Hi, good afternoon, and welcome once again today's episode.
Okay, so this month is the start of Lent. In your own opinion, Nessie, what makes a symbolic or meaningful of being a true Christian?
A true Christian is to really observe what is observed as a Christian, of course, by going to church or praying.
Okay, so do you think you can practice the same thing like if you were in the Philippines but you are in Korea, that have you visited numerous churches because they believe it is a sign that you will have a lucky year ahead of you?
Well, this is one of the easiest religious practices to perform, especially with the younger generations. They find it fun and exciting.
Okay, so let's continue. What is your point of view of Lenten season? What do you think is the significance of Lent season to the Christians?
The season of Lent is the most important part of a Christian life. It is the mark of the Christian faith. There is no such thing as Christianity without the resurrection of Christ.
Yes, I agree. So how does traditional Lent and observance of Lent differ?
Yeah, the observance of the Lent season is sanctioned by the church, and the rules of the observance are taken from the Bible. These rules are strict and must be followed by Christians who deeply believe in the resurrection of Jesus Christ. But most observance of Lent nowadays are blended with a little of tradition, like Fat Tuesday or the so-called Mardi Gras by the French, Ras Parade in India, and Viernes de Dolores Friday of Sorrow in Malta and many other practices around the world.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And early practices of the Lent season ended on the Easter Sunday. Though the word Esther does not appear in the Bible, and no early church celebration of Christ's resurrections are mentioned in the scripture. Easter, like Christmas, is a tradition that developed later in church history.
So how do most of the Christians observe the season of Lent?
During the season, most of the Christians perform prayers, fasting, pilgrimage, that's the visiting of churches,
Mhm.
repentance, self-denial, penance, abstinence, confession, and many more. These are done with utmost spiritual discipline.
Do you think all Christians observe Lent season?
Not all Christian churches observe Lent. Lent is observed by the Lutheran Methodist Church, Presbyterian, and Anglican denominations, and by the Roman Catholics. Eastern Orthodox churches observe Lent, or they call it as Great Lent, during the 6 weeks or 40 days preceding Palm Sunday, with fasting continuing during the Holy Week of Orthodox Easter. Lent for the Eastern Orthodox churches begins on Monday. They call that as the Clean Monday, and they do not observe the Ash Wednesday. Just like the Catholic, they observe the Ash Wednesday, but these Orthodox churches, they do not have that.
Okay, can you tell to our listeners some popular traditional Lent that are practiced in the Philippines?
Yeah, the Filipino Catholic is deeply devoted to the resurrection of Christ, and it is the most significant part of our religion. We usually practice fasting and abstinence. We have the Siete Palabras. This is the reflection of the 7 last word of Christ. And we also have participating in Pabasa, or we call that as reading the Passion of Christ. We have also Visita Iglesia, or we have to visit 7 churches on Monday, Thursday, and Good Friday. And we also have the procession during Good Friday. That's including the Way of the Cross.
I missed that.
Yeah. And then Sinaculo. This is a play about the last days of Christ. And we also have the Moriones Festival. This refers to the masked and costume penitents who usually march around the town in Marinduque for 7 days, searching for Longinos. They roam around the streets from Holy Monday to Easter Sunday as a tradition. And usually at Friday night, on Good Friday, we have the night vigil. And at last, on the Salubong, that the Easter Sunday is a celebration of the resurrection of Christ. At 4 o'clock in the morning, Filipinos do a Salubong ceremony, commemorating how the Virgin Mary met her risen Son, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it reminds me of my childhood, where we have to wake up early in the morning and to witness the play.
Yeah, and it's some kind of fun.
You're right. Okay. So next week is already Holy Week. So how do you observe Holy Week in Korea?
Yeah, we are far from the Philippines, but we still have Catholics here in Korea. So in here, I usually have just fasting starting Monday, and I used to attend the Mass in Hamyol Sundang.
Okay.
Yeah, on Good Friday. Okay, and the Saturday, I am planning to attend the Saturday Mass and the Easter Sunday in Changindong Church. That's my plan.
Okay. So, Nancy, I'm sure you'll receive an Easter egg by Sunday. On Sunday, rather.
I already have Easter egg.
Okay.
I have 5.
Yeah, you have.
Okay.
Thank you, Nancy.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. And I'll hear you once again next time.
See you then.
See you
Goodbye.
then. Bye-bye.
Okay. Hi, welcome to our labor question and answer section. It is our sixth time of labor Q&A. Let's get started. Hello, Director. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and hi, Jackie.
What are we going to discuss for today?
Today, we are going to talk about annual payment. I think most of you can understand or have heard more than once 연차 수당 in Korean instead of annual payment.
You pronounce it 윤차 수당.
연차 수당.
윤차 수당. Okay. It's kind of allowance or benefit. I guess most of migrant workers are interested to know about this topic. It would be better to call it 윤차. 윤차?
연차.
Okay, 윤차 수당 from now on. First of all, we have to understand about the definition of 윤차. Director, can you explain this one first?
Okay. It is stated and explained in Labor Standard Acts. According to that, 연차, annual paid vacation, means every employer shall grant any worker who has worked not less than 80% of 1 year of paid vacation of 15 days. And also, every employer shall grant any worker who has continuously worked for less than 1 year or who has worked less than 80% of 1 year, one paid vacation day for each month during which he or she has continuously worked. Where an employer grants any workers a paid vacation for the latter's first year of work, the former shall grant the latter of paid vacation of 15 days, including the paid vacation as referred to before. And if the latter has already taken the paid vacation provided for before, deduct the number of days of such paid vacation from the said 15 days.
I see. So before you tell me about whether or how annual leave is happening, for example, if the employer who worked from January 1, 2015 until December 31, 2015, in a year, he can use a paid vacation in every month. He has 3 days of 윤차 or annual paid vacation after the year of 2015. Am I right?
That's right. And also, if work period over 3 years, 15 days of paid vacation for a year can add a day in every 2 years, including additional day of paid vacation, and your paid vacation is maximum 25 days. Briefly, employer who has continuously worked for less than a year but fully in a month, he has a paid vacation day in the following months. The employer has continuously worked over 1 year. He has 15 days of annual paid vacation for first and second work year. In the same way, the third and fourth year of employer has 16 days of annual paid vacation. Then annual paid vacation can add 1 day in every 2 years, and its maximum is 25 days of annual paid vacation.
I'd like to repeat. It can add 1 day in every 2 years. Is it included holiday in annual paid vacation?
Actually, a paid holiday means a paid day without work. Legal holiday is not always the paid holiday, even in red calendar. By the Labor Standard Acts, the paid holiday only prescribed a weekly holiday and Labor Day, May Day, like a May Day, May 1st. It means other legal holiday, like red calendar, are unpaid holidays. So we can think easily other legal holidays, like red calendar, are the same as normal weekday. If you work on that day, employee has to pay as normal weekday. If you don't work on that day, employee doesn't have to pay or can deduct from the annual paid vacation. It depends on the rules of employment by each company.
So if the company didn't stipulate that holiday, they can deduct from the annual paid vacation, even legal holiday like red calendar. But I've heard from most of the migrant workers, which they only receive their salary based on work hours and days rendered. Can they also use their annual paid vacation? And if they can't use their annual paid vacation, how can they recompense for their annual paid vacation?
For migrants workers, their salary system is by working hours and days. In this case, they are not deducting their annual paid vacation. When they didn't work in legal holiday, like red calendar, employee already deducted their salary. So the worker can request the benefit of his annual paid vacation after 1 year of work period. The benefit is calculated by ordinary wage. Also, you should remind which the benefit of extinctive prescription is in 3 years by Labor Standard Acts. It means you can't request that after 3 years, even you didn't spend your annual paid vacation or receive the benefit of annual paid vacation.
It's loud and clear. Thank you, Director. Vacation is very important in our life and in our workplace. At this time, we are talking about annual paid vacation and the benefit of it. Are there any additional cases or example?
I was reminded one case which was related with the benefit of annual paid vacation. One company has their own rules of employment which doesn't pay the annual paid vacation. Even the rules of employment of company that is against the Labor Standard Acts, so it doesn't take effect. Additionally, annual paid vacation only suitable to the company of over 5 employers. It means if the number of employers is below 5, then annual paid vacation is not applicable. Don't forget your benefit of annual paid vacation. If you have any problems or questions about Labor Acts, it is good for you to visit Iksan Labor House through Facebook, and also you can send a message through Facebook or send an email iksanlabor@gmail.com. It's okay to visit our office from Sunday to Thursday.
Okay, you've heard it. To all our listeners, you can email through iksanlabor@gmail.com, and you can visit their office from Sunday to Thursday. So it's possible with that kind of case. Once again, all listeners, today we're talking about annual paid vacation and the benefits of it. And let's expect to with our next issue for migrant workers. We are very thankful for giving us significant information. Thank you, Director, and goodbye.
Thank you, everyone, and see you next time.
Okay, see you then. Have a nice day, Director.
You
This is IMW Radio. You can listen at the podcast. This is for our fellow migrant to reach each other all around the globe. I am Roland and you are listening to IMW Radio.
Good afternoon, Roland. Welcome to IMW Radio. Hi, how are you?
Yes, good afternoon, Jackie. It's okay. I'm fine. How are you today?
I'm great. So, do you have any messages from our fellow Filipino workers here in Korea?
Okay, yes, of course, Jackie. There are letters sent to us by our fellow Filipino workers here in South Korea. The message was sent to us by Greg. Let us hear what Greg says. Dear Mom and Dad, I'm so excited that weeks from now, after years ago, I can hold and hug you now. Mom, I miss all the dishes that you've cooked. Wait for me and I'm coming home sooner. Your son, Greg. That was the letter who sent to us by Greg to his family. That was a short letter for our episode today. Maybe next time we will ask our friend to come and visit our episode so they can express themselves or greetings to her family or loved ones. And before we end our program for today, I would like to greet my Korean friend a happy birthday. And in Korean, it is 생일 축하합니다. 박전 씨. Okay, that was all for today. Catch me again in our next episode. Thank you very much, Jackie.
I think you do have visitors, right?
Yes, but I guess they are shy.
Okay. Okay.
So maybe next time they will prepare the message, a short
Okay.
message for their loved ones.
Okay. So that's it. Please feel free to send your messages to Rollins or iksanlabor@gmail.com. Thank you, Roland.
Okay, and to all our listeners, our fellow Filipino workers, please email me with your birthday greetings and to your loved ones. Love letter or anything that you would like to say to your friends or families, please send it to iksanlabor@gmail.com.
Okay. You've heard it right. iksanlabor@gmail.com. Goodbye, Roland.
Okay, thank you very much, Jackie, and see you guys till next time. Goodbye.
Okay. Goodbye. Thank you, Nessie, for sharing on how Filipinos celebrate Lenten season. Second, we're updated about the annual payment for the EPS workers by Director Cirillo. Of course, for our greetings and messages, it is Roland who is responsible for that. Okay, we may have different ways of offering and observing Lent, but what matters most is our true intentions. This is the time to reflect on how Christ suffered, died, and resurrected to save us from our sinful doings here on earth. Amidst the trials and hardships that we've been through, it is a life that will lead us to personal salvations. As Christians, we are reminded that Holy Week plays a vital role where the start of change or renewing ourselves. We go through self-assessment to contemplate on our sinful acts in the past. Tomorrow is the start of Holy Week. Hope everyone to stay safe and observe Lent calmly and earnestly. You're listening to IMW Radio, and this is Jackie, your host. Bye and enjoy your weekend.